I'm Brad Bagoglia, CEO and co-founder at Simbe. And at Simbe, we're focused on really providing true visibility to shelf execution. So as we step through our slides here, our solution at Simbe is called Tally. It's a fully autonomous robotics and computer vision platform that we've deployed at scale with more than a dozen retailers. And I think our perspective is unique because as a company, we've had the opportunity to build fixed cameras and mobile phones and test these types of technologies, really at scale. And what I'd assert, especially for the mid to large format, sort of retailers that are on this call today, those folks that are above, 10 to 20,000 square feet, or 1 to 2,000 square meters, clear up to, 2 to 300,000 square feet. The level of detail, accuracy, and coverage you get from an autonomous robotics platform is really unmatched to sort of other modalities, given the density of sort of the optical system and the closeness to the shelf. Some of the other key value propositions and sort of contrasts is it doesn't require planograms, doesn't require perfect shelf orderliness, racking and stacking of hardware on every shelf, or the dependency of your store teams to actually snap photos. And one of the great pieces of autonomous technology is really being able to keep up with the changes in your store environment. So when products change on the shelf or where your shelves are located, being able to address these types of changes. This type of technology commonly covers 3 to 5 complete store traversals a day. As a company today, we're processing more than 100 million 2D and 3D images across our myriad of customers. Today, our primary focus started with pure play grocery, but has evolved into mass merchant, hypermarket stores, club stores, alcohol, hardware, and sort of other formats. So today we're excited to share a little bit more of sort of the insights and sort of proven value in our work. Also, as we know, the majority of consumer purchasing power is really happening at the shelf. And as a company, we really see the shelf as kind of the last remaining data desert in physical retail. You all have invested so much in technology on the supply chain or point of sale side. There's such a unique opportunity to have a real-time speedometer or sort of dashboard of what's really happening on sort of store shelves. So to highlight sort of the scale of the opportunity, I'd love to share some research that we've conducted with Coresight, who's really regarded as one of the leading retail analyst firms sort of globally. And we surveyed 150 top executives across FMCG retail, and all of these chains did north of $1 billion in sales. But the common thread here you will see is more than 90% of sort of the stakeholders surveyed here, certainly expressed that they had challenges around out of stocks, planogram compliance, and assortment. What's even more interesting, as we all know, is sort of the size of the prize, right? And we're seeing folks lose more than 5% of operating margin, and in some cases as much as 6 or 7% of sort of revenue. Significant portion of this opportunity is addressable with in store teams and the rest of your business processes being able to take an autonomous action. In many of these environments, we've seen ROI potential from anywhere from sort of 3 to 4x out of the gate, building upwards of 15x sort of at scale. And we'll talk more about really how this value case sort of builds sort of over time. But our goal as a business is, really to help you understand, are your products stocked? Are they in the right place? Do they have the right price? Are the issues getting fixed? Are your promos up? What's the fastest path to pick an online grocery order in a store? And how can you leverage this new data set to build a profit center in your business and a new syndicated data model with all your CPG and sort of market insight, sort of partners? So if I walk through a couple specific sort of case studies, late last year, we announced a major expansion with Spartan-Nash. They're a publicly traded grocer that also distributes to thousands of stores. As we launched Tally within their environment, we were able to reduce out of stocks by 60% and actually take much of their controllable inventory, which was at about 60%, to sort of less than 10% at a store level. Most stores that are driving Tally-like capabilities today, we're certainly seeing get to the sub 2% out of stock rates. There's a lot of stores we step into that are still at 8%. Without this technology, and the ability to increase pricing and promotional accuracy. So those retailers that want to stay on paper tags, we can get you to 99.5%, sort of execution or accuracy. But there's many stores out there that are far out of compliance, and the ability to give meaningful hours back to the store teams. If we step through other examples here, here's a high volume sort of grocer, stores doing 2 to 3 million sort of a week. We reduced out of stocks by about 55% in this environment as well. Another example that sort of follows is on sort of the price and promotion side. Again, we've seen these sort of pretty rinse and repeat sort of across, our customers.
Hey, Brad?
Yep.
Yeah, Brad, just want to get some questions in. You've just slightly over the 5 minutes. But Matt Potter is with Bunnings down in Australia.
Yep.
I think he's probably still in the pub, but hopefully he's still alive and kicking and can have a question or comment to make. Matt, you able to unmute yourself and talk to this? If not, we'll just assume that maybe you're still in that pub. But Jonathan Olson of Kroger, I know we've spoken all about robots. Jonathan, any comments on the presentation you've seen from Brad?
Really engaging conversation. I know our companies are familiar with each other. Gosh, I'm thinking out loud here, but have you met Andrew from Nomad Go? Maybe you guys could build a perfect marriage, and you could actually do the counting for the product too on the shelf. That would be a really cool value prop. But nice job. Just trying to think of kind of challenges for the change curve for retailers that just aren't quite there yet with a robot roaming their stores. What kind of advice would you give them?
Yeah, I think it's really important to talk to your peers, especially those that have tried it. I think autonomous technology is I think so new to the world until people experience it sort of firsthand and see that it's not at all an impediment to the store sort of experience. It's really sort of an enabler. Customers embrace it. Store team members embrace it. We haven't had sort of union pushback. These types of things. And it's really important to contrast this type of technology with the other technologies you're testing. So I think with anyone that sort of had questions, it's really been about, let's invite you out to our customers that have done this and sort of proven this at scale. And then, to your other comment, Jonathan, Tally today does capture in both 2D and 3D. So I think something that's very unique to us and clearly to maybe a handful of others on this call is evolving beyond sort of two-dimensional sort of analysis on sort of the store shelf. That gives you a true understanding of depth and sort of other capabilities there.